Good day, one and all. My name is Kathy, and welcome to this episode of the Scrap and Crafty Gardener. Today is the last birthday flower of the month card. It only ran for 1 year, and I received the last one in the mail today. This is from Divinity Designs. I have opened the envelope, and I snuck a peek at what the flower was, and I'm going to tell you why. I have this birthstone color chart that I printed off the internet, and I see that December is like tanzanite and this real pretty blue. And I have a piece of cardstock that I got from GinaK, and I see I have a little bit of lag. My internet seems to be a little slow this morning. I do apologize. That shouldn't be happening. I do have fiber optics, so it must be the system. Anyhow, this card measures 10 inches by 7 inches, scored it at the 5-inch line, folded it, creased it with my bone folder. Okay, so that got me. But when I was looking at the birth flower of the month, I saw holly. And I went, oh, how am I going to incorporate holly with this bright blue raspberry? So I snuck a peek at the flower, and it's not holly. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it isn't holly, so let's find out. Okay, birthday flower of the month. Oh, narcissus. It says pure unconditional love, and it has December and joyful greetings. All right, so that's the one, and that's the last one. This was $16.76 a month. I don't know if they're going to have another club after this or not. I did enjoy this one. I also pulled out my GinaK Designs. This is Wild Blossoms. I pulled that out because I like this birthday wishes. And these don't always say birthday on them. And I want to make a birthday card with them. So I pulled that out, and it looks like I'm going to be needing that. Now, I've kind of gone really wild color scheme here. I have 2 pieces of white cardstock that are 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. One of this is going to go on the inside, and one will go on the front. And then I use 3 GinaK Master layouts. For this is and there's lagging again. This is a piece of patterned paper, and I cut this out with GinaK Master Layouts 8, but you don't need that if you don't have it. This measures 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and I'm going to place that right inside the white. I thought this wild pattern, and it's kind of like a Christmassy, so I thought it would work well for December, and it goes well with the blue paper, but it's not Christmas. Then I have a piece of pastel blue. This is just cardstock. I cut this at 4 1/4 by 3 inches, and I cut that out with that. I just did the stitched edge, so I just used my Master Layouts 8 and just cut the stitched edge on 2 sides. And that's going to go on here somewhere. I haven't really decided where, but it's going to fit across. Then I used Master Layouts 13. And I cut 2 pieces. And I'm going to color these, but I'm just using up my white scraps. If you don't have Master Layouts 13, you don't need it. This piece measures 2 1/8 by 4 5/8. And then the one on top, which has a nice stitched edge, measures 2 inches by 4 1/4. And those will go on there somewhere. I also use that one to cut out these 2. This measures 1 3/4 by 5 1/8. And this one, oh, you know what? I got those backwards. This is the 1 1/4 by 5 1/8. And this is 1 5/8 by 5. Got those backwards. This is the 2 1/8 by 4 5/8. 2 by 4 1/4. I just had those marked backwards. And then those are going to go on there somehow. And then, pardon me, I used GinaK's Master Layouts 3 just for these circles. So if you have circle dies, this measures 2 1/4, and this one with the stitched edge is 2 1/8. All right, let me get started. I'm going to start by coloring with some alcohol inks, and just getting a piece of scrap paper here. I'm just going to fold it over so I can double duty it and use it again. I picked out this blue B883 Cerulean blue, and to me that looks like the same color as the blue cardstock. And my strip of cardstock left over wasn't wide enough to cut out this piece, so I'm just going to color it myself. And I only need to do the edges. Let me see if that is the right color. Yes, it's pretty close. And I'm going to do that with all of the center panels. I'm going to color them all of this color, just to kind of tie my colors together. You have a good set of markers, whether they be generic markers or alcohol ink markers. You don't really need colored paper. You can make your own. This one's a little bit more difficult to do a circle. And I'm going to go over this one a couple of times, just because when I make a circle, my edges don't always match. And going over it kind of smooths everything out. So this one's going to be just like that, and it'll have a nice little blue edge. Okay, now set that aside because I can use that again for another project. Now this large piece, I want to stencil it. And I'm just going to use my little waffle flower grip mat. This is the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I don't need a large one for this. And this I'm going to put a stencil on. This one I'm using, this is by sweetstamps.com, and it's called Encircled Diamonds. I thought it kind of went with that pattern. Now I've picked out 2 colors of ink. I have GinaK Sea Glass, so I'm going to go over that first. And I'm just hitting and missing. Okay. I thought this went with the colors on this paper. And then I'm going to have Tim Holtz's Distress Oxide in Shabby Shutters. And I'm going to try and hit the spots that I didn't get the first time. And then I'm going to come back in with my blue and get it some more. And let's see how that looks. It may look terrible. Oh, not bad. All right. I thought that color, it kind of matched the colors in the back of my card. Not quite, but close enough. I said, this is going to be definitely different in colors I wouldn't normally use together. But I wanted to use that piece of paper. And I thought it went well with the blue. Okay, done stenciling. Put my covers back on here. And set that aside. All right, so these 2, I'm just going to glue those together right now. So get everything done before I even start on the stamping of the design. Get that fairly centered. Yeah, I wouldn't say they go 100%, but they don't look horrible together. Now this is the one I'm going to stamp on, along with this circle. So I'll get the cover from my glue back here. And let me get out my stamping platform. I'm going to start by stamping the happy birthday on here, or the birthday wishes. Okay, and I'm going to use VersaFine Clair Nocturne. Now this stamp has already been used, so it's already conditioned. So I'm just going to ink it up with a little bit of VersaFine Clair Nocturne. And I'll do one more. That's it. This is definitely a different card for me. It's My mind thought it up, but my mind is also going, oh, this is going to look strange, Ranger. I guess we'll all see together. Well, you'll see after I do. But I hope it gets you to thinking that you can take out your inks and get them, do creative things with them. Okay, now this one's where I'm going to stamp the Divinity Designs flower, and it might be a little narrow, and that's okay. I moved it here because I think the stamp is going to be off center, meaning some of the flower might stick out over the edge. So as long as I have a line to put it on, yeah, I see that's a little less sticky. So I'm just going to wipe that down with my tidy towel. Getting it a little wet will help. I just need to pull it out and give it a good washing. Okay. All right. Yes, part of it will stick out, and that is okay. Now this one needs condition, so I'm just going to rub my finger across it. Pardon me. And I'm going to be coloring this in with alcohol ink, so I'm going to use my VersaFine Clear. I'm just going to do one more time. That looks pretty good, except for a small spot in the center. All right. Now, I do want to put December on here. And I believe I want to put it down here. It'll kind of blend in. No, I'm going to go sideways with it. I'm going to put December right over here. I was going to put it down here, but I'm thinking that the words might be obscured by the leaves. Just condition that. I like this set that they include December, because you can use these words. So I have all the months now, and you can use them for other projects, like if you're making a calendar or something. Now, it also has the word chrysanthemum. So let me pick this up and just clean this off for a minute. I don't want to put the chrysanthemum on here. I'm kind of thinking I want to put it over here. So let's get that on there and just line that up. Oh, this one can go right in the corner. All right. Oh, narcissus, not chrysanthemum, narcissus. And I'm going to center that because I'm putting it down at the bottom. Yep, down at the bottom. Now I'll condition this one. Now this set does come with the die cuts. I don't always use the die cuts, but they are handy to have. And it was included in the set. So that's just awesome. That stamped perfect the first time. Okay. Done with my stamping platform. Actually, I'm going to stamp the whole flower on the inside of the card. Might as well do that while I'm here. I'm not going to color the one on the inside, just to stamp it. And I'm going to put that down in this corner. That'll just add a little something to the inside of the card. You know, now that I'm looking at this pattern, I kind of wished I would have done the whole back of that card that way. And those patterns would have gone together nicely. You know, and I think I might still. I think I just might. Okay, I'm going to stamp that one more time. Getting a little ahead of myself here. I really think this would look, now will this blue look okay with that? Yep, you know what? I'm just gonna, let me get out my large stamping platform. Yeah, it's a stamping platform, I guess. I wanted to use this paper. I'm not going to use that paper. All right. But I do need, let's see, I've got some masking magic over here. Yeah, I'm going to use these large masking magic strips from GinaK. And I'm just going to put them right on the edge of the paper. These are the 1/2 inch strips. Because I'm going to create a border. And I want this border not to be colored. So it looks like the white background that I just had this piece for. And this will give you a nice even border all the way around. Let me get my stencil back out. And that almost fits. So I'm going to center it, top and bottom. So I'll just have a little bit of a longer strip. All right, let me get out the sea glass. And I'm just going to go across. All right. And bring in the, oh, where did that stamp pad go? There it is. The shabby shutters. Come back into some more sea glass. There we go. All right, now I can pull off these. And I can reuse these. Don't have to, but you can. The trouble I have is I think my fingers touch them, so they don't always want to stay back down on the paper. Okay. How is that going to look on my card? That's going to look better, I think. Okay. I'm going to clean this off. I'll put it away. And I'll decide when I put in the card together whether I'm going to use the front or the back. Whether I use what I just stenciled or not. Okay. All right, so if I put that there, not there. Now this doesn't fit because I cut it to fit. All right. You know what? Let's go back to the way it was. Okay. Now I need to color my chrysanthemum, or I want to call this a chrysanthemum. I picked out these. I was either going to use these for the holly or the flower. I've got some pale blue, frost blue, B996, and horizon blue, B194. Just need a little bit of scrap paper here and see which color is the lighter. Okay, I'm going to use this blue, the frost blue, to color the flower. I don't know if you can hear them, but I can hear my kiddos upstairs playing. They got a cardboard box in the mail today. And they love playing with boxes. And it sounds like they're just having World War III in their box today. I have one boy who loves to chew cardboard. So I find little, yeah, I can hear him up there ripping the ends off. Mainly they like using it as a fort. One stays inside while the other one climbs on top. And then they play with each other that way. Now I'm thinking I'll just get out my stencil and my die and just cut the back of this down. All right, so now I'm going to use the other blue, which is a little bit of a darker blue. I'm going to do the center of the flower and then just follow the leaves, the black lines that were already stitched on they're stamped on the flower. I was thinking of sewing, so I said stitched. Just to add a little bit of shading and some highlights. That way, if you're not a great colorist, and I never proclaim to be, if you just follow the stamp, it allows you to add some shading and make it look like you know what you're doing. Okay, now for the leaves. I have two. I've got pale moss, which is that color, or light holly green. I'm going to go with the light holly green. And down here, it's hard to distinguish on this stamp of what's supposed to be colored and what isn't when you get down here. Okay, now I'm just going to add in some of that other green just to see if it'll make some highlights. And it does. It does a nice job. Again, just following the lines that were already stamped on the stamp. Okay. Now this, I'm going to put this two together, and then I'll decide what I'm going to do with that background. And glue these two together. All right. Yeah, I'm going to get the master layouts. This is the master layouts 8. And I am going to cut that. I really like this better. When I first started, I thought, okay, that one's not going to look too bad. And then now I'm going, oh, that really doesn't look good. You never know till you try. Okay, so I cut this down. So this now measures 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And I'm going to cut this a little shorter. This was 3 inches. I'm going to go down to 2 1/2. My long strips will go here. I want that more in the center. I put the long strip and then the flower strip. And then I can put the birthday wishes down there. Oh, and I'm totally off camera. I'm sorry about that. I'm thinking I like this. I do. Okay. So let me glue this down to the center. I'm glad I did that change with the stenciled background. It just flows better and isn't in your face as horrible as it was. Okay, so this I'm going to put, I'm going to center this piece. And these ones are going flat. Now this piece I'm also going to put down flat. But all the rest are going to be popped up. Okay. Yeah, and then that one will go here. I'm going to move it over just a little bit. And I'm going to use the foam tape on this. This is 1/2 inch foam tape that is only like 1/8 of an inch tall. And I'm off camera again. I must have bumped my camera. I keep going. I moved it clean and then I did not get it back in the right place, I think. And I still have a little bit of a camera lag. I apologize for that. That should not be happening with the fiber optic cable. I know it's cold today, and we were having some high winds during the night, so whether that affected the lines, I've got a hair. Okay, I'm going to put this right about there. Now this one I'm going to pop up with some taller flowers, taller flowers, taller foam dots. Now these are 1/8 of an inch tall, a little bit taller than 1/8 of an inch, like 3/16 I want to say. And I don't need the tall one up here. I don't need this tall one. I need a shorter one there. I might just be able to glue that one down. All right. Yeah, let's put that over here. And then one back here. Because this one is high up, the whole thing doesn't need to be elevated up. All right, so I'm going to put those there, and then I'll put glue on the flat portion. And then we can have fun while I bling this up. Okay. Now for bling, I've got my Twinkle Stickles. This has a blue sheen to it. It's a nice glittery glue, and this one has a blue color. I know I want to put this on the center of the flowers. I'm just putting a little on now, and then I'm going to get my stickle brush to slide that around. And all right, that's all for those. Now I have some, these came with a kit that I have. They're kind of a pale green and a pale blue. And I thought they might look nice. But I also had a weird idea. I pulled out a jeweled border strip. No to the jeweled border. And I'm thinking, oh, I kind of like the gold with it. The pastel gold. But I like the green. Okay, we're going to add some green. These are very pale green. But the glue dots don't stay. I'm going to put one here. These ones that come on a strip, you have to kind of tuck the glue into the back of the rhinestone, or otherwise it sticks out and shows. Put 3 here. And that needs to go down a little further. And then I'm going to use the blue one down there. And that's it. I'm not going to add any more. That's 4. It's an even number, and my brain goes to even numbers, though a lot of people in the card making community go odd numbers, and sometimes I can get myself to do an odd number, but even numbers work with my brain. That is my card for today. I am so glad I went with the stenciled background instead of this patterned paper. That would have looked really strange. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.